Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Chris and Amanda Show. Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Amanda Sharp.
Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Chris Baglio, and we are a morning show now. What?
I know. We talked about it. We just made it happen. We're like, we're just going to be our own morning show now. Forget it. We're done. We're going to start doing the mornings.
Bucket list.
Checked off. We're like, if no one else is going to bring us on in the mornings, well, then we're going to make ourselves a morning show.
It's that simple these days. We live in a world of opportunity.
It is. We made our own opportunity. We created our own morning show. So here we are. So we want to thank everybody right off the bat. If you're hanging out with us live right now, 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we appreciate each and every one of you waking up and hanging out with us here in the morning to get your day started, get your week started, actually, because we're Monday. It's Chris and Amanda Day. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Today is also Pi Day, too. Did you know that? 3/14.
If I was more mathematically equipped,
Mathematically.
I'd really dig it, but I'd rather just eat pie.
You'd rather just eat the pie than
I'd rather
being happy
just
pie
eat
day?
the pie.
Right. And it's also my my birthday eve, by the way.
It sure is.
That's the last day of being 47 years old.
Hey, that only happens for one time. But
That's
you know
right.
what? I cannot wait. I think you might be getting your package today.
Oh,
And I can't wait.
I will be waiting.
Please record it, maybe. Please.
I will. I will record it. I will absolutely record it.
Because it's going to be so much fun.
Okay.
So happy birthday, Eve.
Thank you.
And there might be a little something up my sleeve for tomorrow. So stay tuned, friends.
Oh, make sure you watch the social channels.
The socials, right.
The socials. Yes, follow us over on TikTok and Instagram at the Chris and Amanda Show. So we have a sponsor today.
We do.
Don't we?
And I feel like our sponsor is checking right in. So it's the perfect. He says, I hear you will be talking about death today. Absolutely. This is Mr. Benny Capal. Chris, did you want to cue the wonderful video that Mr. Capal sent us for Happy Chris and Amanda Day?
Well, of course, I'd be more than happy to play this video.
Buckle up, friends. His hair has a zip code.
I love it. All right, here we go.
Yo, it's your boy Benny Capal from Let's Talk About Death. Bye. Everybody, check in on Amanda and Chris's show at 8:15 a.m. It's going to be a blast. They're going to be talking about their death playlist. That's what I heard. Monday, 8:15 a.m. Check in.
So anyone checking in, thank you for being here. He just nailed it. He nailed it. And so we hadn't made the time change official when I first reached out for a message.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I had to send him a message about doing a new video, it was like, hey, don't kill me. But if you do, it's good for business. And you're the one who's going to have to deal with my body. So, I mean, you can either just recut the video or you can have my dead body if you want to kill me.
Right.
So a little bit about Benny Capal. So we are sponsored today by Benny's podcast, Let's Talk About Death, that he does with his identical twin, Dr. Nick Capal.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Super fun. They talk about all the taboo topics surrounding death. I've spoken with Benny on many occasions about death, and he's always made it super comfortable. There's never a great time to talk about death, according to society, but not us. We're like, let's just do it.
That's it. Yeah, and it's funny because I was like, how did this like come out of the like our normal show? Like, and I was like, wait a second, we were on IG Live last week, and that's where this came out of it, because we're like, just started talking about, and you know, for people who have been listening to the show regularly, you know that we like to pick themes from time to time to break it up a little bit. And, you know, and it's always fun when we have a theme to talk about. So somehow, though, we got onto this topic during our IG Live last week of we should do a show where we share some of our top top songs that we want played at our funeral. And it was like, yes, let's do that. So here we are. We're sharing some tunes today that we want to play it at our funeral.
Absolutely. And Benny is a 4th generation funeral home director. Isn't that impressive?
That is very impressive. Super
And
impressive.
Dr. Nick is in the psychology lane. So together, I mean, they really can add a very good package to the
Right.
grieving process surrounding death. And
hmm
Benny and Nick's father still practices over there as well. We shouldn't leave him out. But just the Capals are just a really neat family. Go check out their podcast. Let's talk about death.
Let's talk
I
about
don't
death.
I don't do it as justice as what Benny would, but you get the message.
Available on all streaming platforms, wherever you get
Absolutely.
podcasts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you, the Capals.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you, and thank you for making the video, because that made my day when I saw that. And I was laughing. That was very good. Very well done.
So good.
So Amanda, before we dive into things, do
Yes.
you want to let everybody know how we normally run the show? How this show
Absolutely.
normally works if this is your first time listening to the Chris and Amanda show?
If it's your first time, normally we each pick 3 songs for each other to review and rate on a very complicated scale of 5 records, 1 record being it's terrible. 5 records means it's amazing and it's on our playlist. And we've had an abundance of 5 records at the end of the day for each other, which is very impressive because we come from extremely different musical backgrounds. So the show works. It's
Yeah.
very complicated. Not really, but we have a blast.
More complicated picking out the songs every week to share.
It is. And, Chris has that more of a history lane of his song choices and his dialogue where I feel all the feelings. It just makes me feel good.
Amanda's very emo.
I'm very emo. Does that mean I'm trendy?
It might be.
But that's our normal structure. But again, because of our IG live the other day, here we land at a funeral playlist episode where we're not going to be really rating, because how do you rate someone's death wish playlist? Come on now.
but we will talk about them.
We're going to talk about them, but
And maybe ask some questions.
we'll have the rating for after.
Yeah, so as we go along here, please feel free to interact with us, comment, question, or send us your songs that you would want played at your funeral. I know, some people may find this to be a little bit of a depressing show, but not here at the Chris and Amanda show.
Nope.
We are all about celebration, and that's what we're talking about. And that's why these songs, we're going to be discussing these songs, because this is how we would like to be celebrated and celebrate with all of you, even though we won't be around to do that. But that's why we're picking these songs, so that way you get a little piece of us song by song as you're celebrating our life in times.
It might be a little egotistical, but that's okay. Here we are.
No,
anyway.
I think it's fine. It's good to think about it. It's good to be ready and prepared, because hey, you never know. So boom, here you go.
Rachel,
Hit play on
Marcus,
this.
Here's
and
your
let's
cheat
go.
sheet.
That's it. This is what I want played. Do not deviate. Do not put your own
Absolutely.
songs in here.
This ain't about you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we could go, listen, you get like 1 or 2 picks. Like, we'll allow that. Does that be fair? Like, or maybe we'll say, listen, you get 3 picks. You get 3 picks to insert into this playlist. But that is it. You don't get to edit our playlist.
No.
Right.
No. And it has to go in the order of ours first, theirs last.
Correct. That is correct, because it's about us.
It's about us and our death.
All right.
Your song choices to me this week on this somber topic that we're making a friendly conversation. Your number 1 pick to me was My Way by Sid Vicious. And do I add Rat Scabies to that?
So the Rat Scabies, he came in, he kind of played guitar. So I didn't realize that was sort of a newer-esque version, or more like a discovered version or something like that. I don't know that. I actually got to look at that, because it said it was released in 2021. So I got to actually find the history of how that recording came about.
Okay.
I didn't realize it at first. And then this morning I was like, oh no, I wanted to send you over this version. I didn't realize that this was sort of like a different recording of that version. So it's just Sid Vicious. Just go with Sid Vicious.
Okay, Sid Vicious. I like it. Your second song to me is Thank You by Led Zeppelin. And your third song to me is For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica.
By Metallica.
I'm like, by Metallica. Metallica. And Chris goes, Metallica. I mean, if that doesn't show how different our show is, I don't know what does.
All right. So your songs to me, and by the way, I'm gonna just tell you right now that this was not on purpose. It
I
just
know.
happened. It just happened to be that way. That's when you sent me your list first, and I sent you mine. I was definitely cracking up. So this just goes to show how so much of the same we are, but yet so
So
different.
different.
So your songs to me were Elvis Presley, "My Way." I gotta scroll down here. There we go. Mariah with "Well Done" or Mariah. Well, so when I
Well
look,
done with Mariah Peters.
yeah, Mariah Peters, but when she has it listed on Spotify or any of the other places, it's just Mariah.
Oh, she's upgraded. I see.
Right.
I
So
wasn't aware.
she's a one name person.
Ooh, that means
Artist.
she's made it.
Yes. Yeah. She's Moriah, not Mariah, Moriah. MOR.
Mariah.
Not to be confused. And of course, what playlist would ever be complete that Amanda Sharp would send me if there wasn't some Dolly Parton on it? So we have Brad Paisley and Dolly Parton doing "When I Get Where I'm Going."
And the twang. He had the twang.
The twang. The Elvis Presley, "My Way."
And I didn't realize when I first looked at your list, I didn't connect that both of our number one songs were "My Way." I saw it and I was like, it can't be the same. I didn't even think it was the same.
Which is funny. So I found a lot of really funny, interesting things about that song, like just across the board. So.
I can't. Well, so speaking of, let's just dive into you do my number one then and go into this history lesson of "My Way."
So you're a huge Elvis fan. So I totally 100% expected there to be Elvis on your play. Like, of course. I was a little shocked not to see some Johnny Cash on your top, but I know this is only 3. I know this is only 3, and this is just a sampling of the much larger playlist. But these are 3 songs. So but so Elvis Presley, do you know? I'm going to ask you this question, and so this is what I've read. I don't know if it's confirmed.
I'm sweating. Oh,
but do you know what Elvis Presley's last words were?
Oh, well, I thought he died on the toilet, like upstairs.
He did.
Okay, so I didn't realize somebody was around to like.
Well, apparently he said this to his fiance, Ginger Alden.
Oh, Ginger.
He last words were, "I'm going to the bathroom to read."
Says every man in the world.
Which is why there's always reading material in the bathroom.
What a love story there.
Yep. Those were his last words said to his fiance, Ginger Alden, early morning, August 16th, 1977, at his Memphis mansion in Graceland.
That's so terribly poetic.
Going to the bathroom to read.
Going to the bathroom to read.
I'll be back down.
I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad, but so great.
Elvis's last words. But anyway, so about "My Way." So this definitely became. Sin, I actually really enjoy. I like Elvis's version of "My Way." Because it's so Elvis, right? He just makes it so Elvis. So this was obviously one of his show-stopping numbers, and definitely a fan favorite of many, many Elvis fans. So just some overall knowledge about "My Way" is it was originally entitled "Comme des Habitudes." The song was written by Gilles Thibault and J. Claude Francois and Jacques Arevaneau in 1967.
That's a mouthful.
I know. So written by three French dudes in 1967. 2 years later, the first person, well, I shouldn't say the person who made it an Americanized or English version was Paul Anka, and he used the melody and wrote English lyrics with Frank Sinatra in mind. Now, Sinatra had a major hit with the song, and it became known as a Sinatra hit. But Elvis loved the track and covered it in 1973 on Aloha from Hawaii, and again on his 1977 Elvis in Concert special. And then he recorded another version June 21st, 1977 in Rapid City, South Dakota, and was released as a single after Elvis's death in 1977, and it reached number 2 on the country singles chart.
So interesting who wrote it. I do like Frank Sinatra's version.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Right.
But when Elvis sings it, it just hits a little different.
Right. Now, I'm going to ask you this. if you had a choice of, I guess, is this the song that gets played as you're getting lowered into the as you're getting lowered into the hole, or are you doing cremation? I know my wife and I have decided we're gonna do cremation, where we want to be cremated. I don't want the whole getting buried in a hole thing.
So,
but do you know, like, what is this song just in the general, like, hey, we're hanging out and we're all celebrating Amanda and everybody's saying stuff, or is this like the song at the moment? Do you think?
I just want to throw this out here and say Marcus and Owen love me dearly. What happens to me after my death is totally up in the air. There may not actually be a playlist played.
Not if you got to make it legal.
The thing is, like, their instructions are do what's easiest for you guys and what you'll be able to deal with for the whatever remainder of life you guys have.
Right.
So I've got Benny on call that, like, if they need a private room during a funeral to just go hide, like, they can do that. Benny has a room available.
Right. A hiding room.
A hiding room. So they never maybe even have to come out. Or they can cremate me. I'll be gone. So I don't really care. So I suppose this is, in a perfect world, I would like a celebration of life, not really necessarily a funeral. And probably this would be like that last song before people leave and be like,
okay. So it's like as people are shuffling out.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel. I said I'm not good mathematically, but I know what that means.
So just for everybody who's listening, we're bringing up some of the comments from some of our fine folks checking in. So we got Mr. Across the Pond, Mr. James Scott checking in with, hey, what's up, Chris and Amanda? And Daniel J. Fox with Frank greater than Elvis.
Wah, wah,
Wah,
wah.
wah, wah. So,
but everyone can have their opinion, and I do like that version a lot. It's a close second.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I agree with that. It is a very good. I like the Elvis version. The Frank version has got that send off though. That, like, but we've got more versions on my way to talk about.
We do.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So really, just check it in. Yeah. So we asked people as we're going along here to send us some of their songs that they would like on part of their funeral playlist. So Benny Capal, check it in with here. Okay, Hear You Me, Jimmy Eat World, The Big Sleep, Streetlight Manifesto, You Deep Rest, The Hotelier, Hotel. Sorry, Benny. You Will Always Be Around After Your Death Through Stories, Memories, on Punk Rock, whatever. That is very
true. See,
that is true.
And that's why Benny is good at what he does. He makes grieving families comfortable by those type of things, and it's true. We'll live in memories.
And James Scott saying, I have selected Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin as my first of 3 songs. That is a very good choice. And that is in my playlist overall, James. It is in my overall playlist. So great pick.
Isn't that like a 14-minute song?
Daniel Fox, I still can't get over your Cookie Monster reaction.
See, it's a cookie. For anyone interested in what the backstory is behind that comment, and what I just did was Daniel totally commissioned an entire episode, and he chose some black rock or black metal. black
extreme metal.
Black cookies. I mean, there's all the things. And one of the songs definitely had a Cookie Monster sound to it, and so it was fun.
It was very fun.
Thank you again for commissioning that episode.
Yes. All right.
On to your number 1 song, My Way by Sid Vicious.
Yep.
Again, I couldn't believe that I didn't notice that it was the same song until yesterday. I'm so lame. I had to listen to it first, and I was like,
they did change some of the lyrics a bit. They did change some of the lyrics a little bit.
I was a solid minute into the song before I connected the dots. There's no denying that. I'm not proud of that. Slightly embarrassed, but it is what it is. It's definitely different than my version.
It is very different. Do you know who Sid Vicious is?
I have no clue.
Okay, just checking. That's okay.
No clue.
I wouldn't expect you to. I wouldn't expect you to.
the sound. I just think there's so many versions of My Way, and I'm not shocked you landed on this one, but I'm a little shocked that you landed on this one.
Really? Yeah. I mean, listen, lyrically, they take some liberties with it, but it's a lot of it's done in jest and like actual like just the comedy of it, and I feel like that's me. So I don't know. I like this song a lot. I like this version. I think it is fun and it's very cheeky, and it's so like
Cheeky's a good word.
atypical of the the Sex Pistols overall and Sid Vicious. So Sid Vicious was one of the bass players in the Sex Pistols, very infamous. The whole Sid and Nancy film, the whole. I'll have to send you some stuff. Actually, the movie's great. Gary Oldman plays Sid Vicious in it, and it's very, very good. And there's a whole classic scene in there where they do this song. So the version I sent you, which is the right version, Gary Oldman does it in the movie.
Gotcha. That makes
and
sense.
he does it really, really well. It's just one of these. It's a version I love, man. I think it's great. I can picture getting cranked and just people going nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I see my whatever you want to call it, funeral, memorial service. To me, it's just I want it to be a celebration and a party. That's what I want it to be. So I want songs that I like, things that I've been into, but I really want people to have fun. And so I feel like this version of My Way to me is funny. It's ironic.
Version of My Way.
Right, exactly. And so funny too, Amanda. So I wanted to read you some quick things. First of all, Sinatra did not like doing the song. He initially liked it, but got so sick of doing it and was he was just like not into it. So here's some things which I thought that you would find interesting about this version. So this is from punktomotionmagazine.com. This was an interview about this version. So I'll pull some highlights. For years, Paul Anka thought no one could touch his original Sinatra recording. My Way by Sinatra was that way and basically the only way he wrote in his autobiography. That said, the songwriter said he loved how Sid Vicious handled the tune. After he wrote the lyrics for My Way for Sinatra, Anka's door was being battered down by the music star after music star who wanted to license the song. Within a few years, everyone from Nina Simone to Shirley Bassey to Sinatra's mate, Sammy Davis Jr., had taken their turn at the track and failed. By the end of the 70s, with the first wave of British punk was coming to an end, Sex Pistols Sid Vicious took My Way, ripped it all apart, spat all over it in his usual sneering way, and did his own version for Julian Temple's The Great Rock and Roll Swindle. And that was sort of like a movie type thing that they did. At the time, Anka recalled questioning whether to grant the license to allow Sid to sing it, but he said he didn't regret agreeing to let Vicious to do it his way. I loved it, and I was flattered and amused by his version. In the same way that the original was tailor-made to fit Frank Sinatra, Vicious liberally rewrote Anka's lyrics for himself, and even starts off. So the version I sent you is kind of like he's mocking like Sinatra's crooning style, giving the song like the amount of respect you'd expect from Sid Vicious. But after mocking the opening track, the track Words of Life with Steve Jones' guitar riff, and Vicious owns the song and kills it. Now, even once he heard Vicious's version, Anka liked how the song won over punks. He starts out making fun of it, but then he gets swept up in it, like as if the song reaches out and grabs him. I was very amused by it, and I was flattered that punk like Sid wanted to do My Way, someone who was into music totally different from mine. What he did worked as both a goof and a sincere take, which was a pretty amazing accomplishment. And this version of My Way was also used in Goodfellas as well, the film Goodfellas. Just if you have ever seen Goodfellas, or if you don't remember, it was used in that version. And also Frank Sinatra himself has said that he felt like Sid Vicious's version was one of the most passionate versions he'd ever heard.
I don't know that I would use the word passionate. I feel like I would use a little bit more of an aggressive word. It's just so different than My Way.
Well, that's why. So we each have our version of My Way.
I like it. So same question to you. Where do you want this particular one played in the whole production of your after
in
that.
my production, I think that, I think it'd be fun to do at the end of all of it, especially the version I sent you because it's so like comical. It's almost very Monty Python-esque, which is, total British. It's like him doing the end is near, like totally mocking it. I think it'd be hilarious because people would be laughing. I think people would be hooting and hollering and laughing.
Give him a little like,
yeah. Yes.
Randall knows Sid. What?
We got a lot of checking in going on here, but yes.
Check in with across the world.
Yes. Sid is king.
Look at I'll cheers to that too. Good morning, Randall.
Yes. So we got a lot of check-ins going on. So with James Scott getting across the pond, Bohemian Rhapsody is my second song. Then as I'm being as I'm being thrown in the oven, there's a track from the first Avengers film called The Promise. Yes. Good call, James. That is. I know exactly what you're talking about. Very good. Oh, Randall, good morning. Too early for me. All right. My final song, Take Me Home version by Retreat. Good tune.
That one. I'll have
good song.
Good morning or afternoon, Mr. Cooper.
Oh, and as everyone leaves the funeral home, James Horner's theme from Braveheart being played on bagpipes outside. Oh. Outlawed tunes being played on outlawed pipes. Love it. Love it.
Bagpipes can just hit you in the feels.
They do. There's something about bagpipes being played.
There's something about it that even if it's under good terms, you're like,
it's still
so emotional. It just hits ya. Oh my goodness. Good checking in. Thank you everyone for those comments. We love doing the show live for that exact reason. So thank you so much. So what's my number song? Or my number song? What's my number song?
Your number song. Your number 2 song to me was Moriah. Well Done. And if there was an Amanda Sharp, the most Amanda Sharpiest Sharp song of all time, this is the most Amanda Sharp song ever. It is this one. It is Well Done by Moriah. And so I mean, listen, this is so you. Like I think, not that I've ever heard this song before, but now that I know this song exists in the pantheon of music, I'm gonna go. This song was written for Amanda Sharp.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
It's just like the most Amanda song, Amanda is song of all time. It's so you. It's great. The lyrics are awesome. I did read. I found a quick thing with Moriah was talking about the song. So she says this was in an article that she was doing an interview. She goes, "Bold, bright balloons and lights. That's my kind of heaven. My second single, Well Done, was written about the hope that we have in heaven, the anticipation of hearing those 2 simple words can inspire us to love extravagantly and take risks because we're not living for this world. We're walking by faith and trusting in what is not yet seen." That is you, Amanda Sharp. This is your song. So
it's so good. It's so happy too.
Yes, it is. No, it is 100% your song. I think it's a great celebration song. It really is. And I could definitely see this. This is a good pick by you. I could see why you chose this one. So Moriah, if you are listening or watching the show, thank you. First of all, thank you. Second of all, thank you for writing a song about my friend Amanda Sharp.
I feel like
we just now own this song. We just made this song yours. That's it. Just like that. Lickety split.
Chris has deemed it so it is.
So it is.
It's on the interwebs. It must be true now. It's just how it is.
So shall it be written? So shall it be done.
When I heard this song for the first time, and it's been out for quite some time now, it just hit me that is really like my goal, to make it to the end, and people go, she lived a really good life.
She did. And there's all these episodes of the Chris and Amanda show forever and ever that will live on. I
know Owen would think that does think that these shows are very dorky now, and he's embarrassed about every single episode.
and likely he should be. All kids are embarrassed by what their parents do.
But I would hope at some point in his life that he'd be able to finally rewatch some of the stuff that once embarrassed him and get a little bit better understanding as to who I was as a person and not just his annoying mother. And who knows, maybe even our grandchildren will watch this one day, Chris, and go, hey, Grandpa Baglio was pretty cool.
That's my only wish in life, is that my grandkids, whenever they are, come
In the
into this
world.
existence, that they're like, damn, grandpa is pretty cool. I'll be like,
Right?
you don't even know the half of it, kid.
I know. Like, really, that would be, but this kind of documents a little bit
Yes.
of our personalities and our story that
Yes.
hopefully when it does happen, because everyone does die,
Yep. That's
it's
true.
the inevitable,
It's inevitable.
that this will give our friends and family comfort that they can come back and laugh with us.
That's right. So while our playlists are going, also somewhere on a loop is the entire like pantheon of the Chris and Amanda show just playing in like the corner of like all this craziness.
I mean, it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
All right. Yeah. So
Okay.
just love that song. Moriah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no,
for
it's
writing it.
a very sweet song. It's fun song, and it is 100% you. So I think that is a great one to land on your playlist for sure. I could see why you chose that.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
So before we move on to my number 2, I'm gonna check in with some friends here who are once again.
Oh, wow. We've
Thank you
got a
so much for
lot.
hanging out with us. So Melissa, for me, "Throw a Party" by Rita Wilson. My husband has always wanted "Lay It Down" by Rat. Oh yes,
I know who Rat is.
Amanda knows who Rat is now.
Yes, I do.
She's learned. Yes, that's a
Learned.
great songs. Two great songs. Yeah, awesome. Melissa too. Oh, and because of celebration of life, for celebrating the person, one of the songs we chose for my amazing son Alex was "Keg on My Coffin" by Push Stars. That is great great pick. Excellent.
I love the name Push Stars. Just what a great name.
Yes, it is. X Factor Safety checking in. Good morning, friends. Really digging any time. You rock. Thank you. Yes,
That's
this new
Mr.
time.
Pedro for anyone who doesn't know.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning, Pedro.
And Melissa, again, another one was "Go to Distance" from Hercules, a very different tribute. Oh, love this episode. You are destigmatizing death, even if unintentionally. Death is a reality of life. Bravo. Thank you, Melissa. Yes. Well, that was what we wanted to do. That was the purpose of today's show.
Absolutely. And there was some concern that we had, right, Chris, that we didn't want the show to come across as insensitive.
Of course, yeah.
But it is a conversation that is so important that we have with our loved ones and our friends. So that way, like we said, death is going to happen. The only thing we don't know is when. And so if we can have a plan and lighten up the conversation a little bit more behind it, we figured it was worth the risk to do such an episode.
Absolutely. And more so, we want to make sure that this is a living testament and will to our family and loved ones, that our playlist will be played without compromise and no skipping. No skips, skipping. Right?
We know there's different levels of skipping. All of them are off the table.
0 skips. There will be no skips on our funeral playlist. If I find out, I will haunt you. I may even possess you for a little bit. Do not skip our playlist.
Do you know my mom says that to me often? She's like, if you don't do this after I'm gone, I will come back and haunt you. Don't make me do that.
Do not make me do that, because I'd rather just go and drift off. Don't make me come back and haunt because you skipped.
Don't anchor me here.
Don't anchor me here. Exactly. Well said.
Speaking of anchoring you here, in the playlist, was this song to like Rachel, your next one, which was "Thank You" by Led Zeppelin? It felt like a love song, and I felt like maybe it was like a song to Rachel. Like, tell me about this song.
You hit the nail on the head. Yes, it is 100% one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan. James already has some Led Zeppelin on his playlist. He was sharing "Stairway to Heaven," which would be on my playlist. But when I have favorite Led Zeppelin songs, I mean, "Stairway to Heaven" certainly up there. But for me, "Thank You" is just, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful song. It says everything that for me, that song says everything I'd want to say to somebody. And I love it. There's also I love the live version of this song. There's a great live version on BBC, on their BBC recording CD they put out years ago, and it's such a beautiful tune. So yes, that is, Amanda, you hit the nail on the head.
When I was listening to it, I felt that. Like, I felt like it was a love song to Rachel, and I just thought that was so sweet. So I really like the song and the lyrics. The lyrics, I think, are fantastic. So those were my notes on it. I just wanted to know, like, your story behind it a little bit more, but I couldn't, like, say much about it. It was a very traditional song I would expect from you, know, but the lyrics were fantastic. So this is one that's probably on my playlist now.
Yeah, it's
Well,
I
thank
mean,
you for thank you.
you're welcome. I mean, Led Zeppelin has written so many beautiful songs, and when it comes to like guitar players, for me too, like my Mount Rushmore of guitar players that influenced me is definitely Jimmy Page is on that Mount Rushmore, along with Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads. But yeah, I always loved Jimmy Page. He's an amazing songwriter, and just and this is one of they're just classic songs. And like I said, I think it says everything I'd want to say so perfectly in a song.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Good choice, Chris Baglio. Good.
Thank you very much, Amanda Sharp. So your number 3 song to me, that you shared with me
Right.
off your funeral playlist is, and this is once again, this is like these are like the perfect Amanda songs from you that I love that you would just broadcast out to everybody. So When I Get Where I'm Going by Brad Paisley and Dolly Parton.
Dolly.
Great song. I had never heard this song before.
Really?
And this is
Okay.
what's happened a lot with a lot of that, because country isn't my main go-to. And I really haven't spent a lot of time diving into a lot of country music per se. I know some of the Walmart pop country hits. I mean, I don't necessarily I couldn't tell you who sings them, but like
Right.
it's recognizable
Of course.
because I hear it in the bars like constantly. So and the girls listen to some of it too. But I hadn't heard this song before. So this was actually really it was a really nice song. I really enjoyed it. And listen, Dolly Parton's such a living legend. She's done so much for music in general. And also as far as female artists go in general. I mean, she's a powerhouse. I mean, she's really paved the way for so many people to do what they love doing. So I have such great respect for Dolly Parton. But anyway, the song's really great. I mean, just a little bit about it. I don't know if you knew any of this stuff about it, but
Probably
just
not.
some general information. But it's a song written actually by George Taryn and Rivers Rutherford. And it was then recorded by Brad Paisley. So you often see that a lot with a lot of country artists. Doesn't mean that they can't write. It just means that, hey,
Right.
there's just so many great songs in the world that get written. And, even like we just said with the Paul Anka, like he rewrote that melody. He took the melody and rewrote it for Frank's voice. So, I mean,
Right.
this is what you get a lot of times. So it was released in October 2005 as a second single from his album Time Well Wasted, and is his 14th career single. And the song features harmony vocals from Dolly Parton. This song was Dolly Parton's 25th Billboard #1 song. And her first since 1991's Rockin' Years, and Brad Paisley's 5th #1 song. So those are 25th. Can you imagine having that many hit songs?
The Betty White of music. Betty White's in her lane, and then yes, so much love for Dolly Angel. Curious Idealist is Angel.
Yes.
Dolly is golden, and just to say country music rules. Yes, it does. Yes, Randall. I love it.
Yes.
I am just so happy so many people are checking in. This makes my heart want to bust.
Yes. Well, I guess moving to the mornings was the right move.
So fun.
Yeah.
So fun. So yeah, that's Brad Paisley, like he doesn't let me down. He's consistent. Right. He kind of continues to say the way or sing the way that he sings. He's got a very just lane that he stays in. But when you throw Dolly into it with that sweet message, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's a good tune. I really enjoyed it. I've listened to it actually a bunch of times, and it's very nice. I like it. It's I would put this on a playlist for sure. And in fact, I will. I mean, it's already on the Chris and Amanda playlist, but on a personal playlist.
Love it.
I would put this on. I think it's a cool song.
And this one, I'm not sure where it would get played. I think it just fits in kind of anywhere.
It just fits in the general playlist of milling around and all that.
Yeah.
Like everybody like
mingling.
Discussing, Amanda's life and like all the awesome times and,
I hope so. Don't you really hope that
I
that's
do
what
too.
people think when we're gone and
I hope people remember really funny stories about me that I can no longer remember. I'm sure I've given people plenty of ammunition and fodder. Like, because I'm sure there's tons of stuff I've done that I don't remember, but somebody else can clearly remember. Like, remember the time Chris said that? Boy, was that ridiculous. Remember the time he did that? Like,
I know we're like laughing and having a good time, but let me bring it down a little. when I don't remember what I was looking for on my phone, but I had to go way back, and I have like 8,000 pictures on my phone. So I had to go way back looking for what it was. And it was from when Owen was much smaller.
Mhm.
And I'm just all of these amazing memories that I was flipping through. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so amazing. And the pace I was going, I said, oh my gosh, like what if that's what you see when you're dying? Like
Right.
all of these amazing memories flash through your head. I go, now, if that's the way that I go, like that's what I would like to see. Or if that's what my heaven looks like just all of those memories just flashing by.
Yeah.
I mean, there were more than just Owen pictures in there, to be fair. But I
To be
just
fair.
love seeing
Yeah.
all of my Owen and just those moments in our time that
Yes.
were captured.
Yeah.
It was just really sweet.
That would be nice. I would actually enjoy that. If that's
Yeah.
the way it happens, like that you see all that, like
Yeah.
okay, it'd
Like,
be nice to see all the
maybe
times.
that's what it means when your life flashes before your eyes.
That's probably what it means. And so, if those were all the nice things that flooded my mind
Yeah.
before, then I guess, yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Not at
That
all.
would be nice to have all those sweet moments.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and Benny checking in. If you're not talking about death, you're not living. There you go.
Preach it.
Preach it.
Preach it.
All right.
Okay. So your third and final song for your funeral playlist, For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Dun, dun,
By
dun, dun,
Metallica.
Starts off with the bells. Oh, that's this is the way that this is the song of how the memorial service starts.
Okay.
This
Bring
is it. It literally kicks off with this.
Chris coming in hot.
Just that's it. Like, and now we're gonna remember the life and times of Chris Vaglio. And ding, ding, and then I want everybody in unison to go dun dun dun. Like I want unison headbanging right there. Dun 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 dun. Doo, 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 doo. Perfect. That's it. That's how it all starts.
I don't headbang because it gives me a headache, but for you, I will.
Look.
This is so great. The sun can clear out a room. Great choice, Chris.
Perfect. It is. It's just perfect song. Oh, it's such a great song.
Half of it is like instrumental.
Yeah, well, it's Metallica. They're bringing the heaviness, man. They're getting you into it. It's like it's like 2.5 minutes before any lyrics. It's so
That's
great.
a lot of headbanging, Chris.
It's a lot of headbanging. That's what I want. It's so hard to ask for a little headbanging at my memorial service. Is it too much to ask?
I want to come do yours.
And actually, it'd be even great if they can even time it where someone's actually ringing a bell in unison with the song. That would be even better.
I'll do that for you.
Will you be my bell ringer?
I'll be your bell ringer.
Start off the.
I'll be like,
ding.
Not a triangle, an actual bell.
I want a bell, like a bell, like the Liberty Bell, like the size of the Liberty Bell.
Little house on the prairie, bell on the church. Ding,
Yes.
ding. You got it.
Thank you.
Bell ringer.
Thank you. Once again, let this video serve as my last will and testimony for things I want done at my memorial service.
I will be belling like a felon. Ding. If I'm alive.
Well, then we would need you need a proxy. You need to sign a proxy.
Can anyone in the comments be a backup? Just
backup bell ringer
first. All right. So here are my notes.
All right.
For Whom the Bell Tolls. It's such a proper name for such a heavy metal song.
It's the perfect metal song.
Whom? Like who would have thought whom would be in a
For whom the bell tolls.
The whom. And then it's heavy metal with bells and headbanging. It's just
right.
It's very contradictive, but I think it's fantastic. Very long intro before getting into the lyrics, which I'm okay with because, like you said, it is Metallica. I love the words, take a look to the sky just before you die. It is the last time you will see it.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I just really appreciate a lot of those words in that song because we really never know when our final moments are. So I think it's so important to just really stop and look at all of the beauty and the people that we love and appreciate like today because tomorrow is not promised. So I just really thought that those were Excellent lyrics. It was a little heavier than I would prefer at my funeral, but I expected nothing less for you, Chris Baglio.
And believe me, there are some real bangers on my playlist, and they may clear out the room. You're right, Randall. There may be others that people may be. But this is why there is a no skip rule in effect. There's no skips. I
No
don't
skip.
care.
No skip. People can bounce, but the playlist remains.
The playlist remains. You can leave and come back in when the song's over. It's fine.
I mean, I'll have a bell for crying out loud. People should stay.
You know, I should probably, now that I think about this, Amanda, and this may be something you and I should work on, is maybe we need to have a designated person who's like the no skip like authority, who's there and like don't even think about it. Like they just like it's the music is only controlled from one device, and that device is in the persons of that trusted advisor and consultant who will not allow any skippage, no matter what, cannot be skipped.
I'll be ringing the bell and going, don't you skip. Don't you skip.
Because we will haunt you.
Don't make us do that.
Like we can even get them official T-shirts that say like "skip no skip police" or something like that, or like
which would make it even more fantastic.
Yeah, branded shirts that they have to that they wear, so they're designated as the like. Listen, don't even think about it. I'm the supreme authority in ruler of this playlist, and if you skip, like you will be in a lot of trouble because you will be haunted.
So there's can be no skipping. No skipping at funerals. And then mine can be belling like a felon.
Belling like a felon.
We're just going to be all shirted up. Well, we can assign hashtags. It's going to just be fantastic.
It will be. We may sell merch at our memorials. It'll be like a band playing, except that it's like not. But yeah, it will be. You know, we have like memorial shirts made, like all cool.
Yeah, but ones that you could like wear again.
Oh, of course, yeah, because they're a celebration.
In memory of Amanda, like
right, they're like a celebration of like it looks like it actually looks like a tour shirt.
Yes,
but it's for a memorial service, right? But it looks like it's that final show. It's the final show of the tour. Like
final countdown.
Right. That's what that shirt looks like. So you could wear it and it looks like, oh, how was that show? Oh, it was awesome. It was the best last show ever. Best final show.
And mine can be so retro and 80s.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great. Like, I feel like Bananarama or like Wham style.
Oh my gosh.
Or like those geometric pattern thing, you know, like they was a lot of geometry in the 80s.
Do I hear us single-handedly or dual-handedly changing the face of what funerals look like from this day forward? I think so.
I think so. I would like it to feel like the last show of a band. Like that's it.
I like it.
Yeah. So James Scott checking in. What about Foo Fighters acoustic version of Times Like These? Very good pick. Great pick, James. I love that version. That is a great version. Actually, I may add that to my playlist as well. I forgot about that acoustic version. That is a good one.
Acoustic is where it's at. I do love a good acoustic.
No skipping as music is music. Right, Randall?
Yes, Randall.
No skipping as music is music. And James Scott, farewell tour shirts sound awesome. And everyone who comes at a funeral has to wear them. Yes. Yes.
That's not asking too much. It's our final wishes.
Right. I think it's fun. I mean, listen, I understand like you're going to be upset and sad. I get that. And I appreciate that. But I also want to, let's have some fun with it.
Absolutely. And I suppose this is a proper time for me to say to everyone listening that if you ever run into Owen, baby of mine, after I've croaked, please always say to him, your mother loved you so much. For the rest of eternity.
For the rest of eternity. Well, and we have it here on video.
Absolutely. But he might never replay it, so I'm going to depend on everyone else to get that message across.
So let me ask you a quick question. Do Owen's friends watch the show? Do they know about the show? And do they then bring it up and go, we saw your mom and that dude that weird guy from wherever he's from? Like,
no, what they would say is, we saw your mom on some morning show and your mom's kind of nerdy, but her co-host is pretty cool. He's got guitars and tattoos. That's how it would go. And no, I don't think they found this episode. A couple friends in the past did find my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And they're like, hi, Owen's mom. Poor kid. And friends, he could not be more different than me. He is so private about his life and stuff. So the poor kid. I'm sorry, I
Oh,
can't change who I am, and I don't expect him to change who he
he is
is.
a teenager, and
He is.
teenagers will be teenagers.
I'm 15. Woo!
Yes, I mean, that's it. So it's
What about your girls? I know they're older and probably not as embarrassed.
no, I think the embarrassment stage is kinda done now. They just think it's hilarious. They're just like they just think it's funny. They find, the humor in the whole thing, so and they always get excited when 2 people do bring up the show to them. Like, they're like, "Dad, they saw your so and so show your show, or they saw the thing," and they always get excited. So it's kind of funny now.
That is really fun. And I
Yeah.
mean, you're welcome. We've just made playlist. We've just spelled out everything for you
We
guys.
have. We've laid it all out in this episode.
Right to Scotland is available. I think he would really enjoy Scotland because he doesn't necessarily need like the sunshine that
Right.
I do. And so he's thought about like Washington before because it's, kind of rainy and has that look. So I feel like Scotland could be a good choice.
Scotland could be a good choice. I've always wanted to go to Scotland, so
Maybe we could visit there for our first world tour stop.
oh, yes, there it is. The Chris and Amanda Show World Tour.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Chris, we're
Yes.
going. James
Yes.
Scott, get ready.
Get ready.
It might be 2030, but we'll get there.
We'll be there at some point.
Oh my, we went way over on the show today.
We did go well, we were having a very good time. It's been a
True.
fun show to do. This was a fun theme to cover today. And we appreciate everybody who's been watching live with us today, hanging out, giving great comments, sharing their songs with us that they would want played on their funeral playlist. Been a lot of fun. This is great.
It's, I
I'll
will
start making the banners.
Yes.
Yes,
I love
James
it.
Scott.
Our community is so fantastic.
It's great. It is great. And and so listen, for everybody who's listening or watching the replay of this, if you can join us, our new time is Mondays at 8:15 a.m. That's when we go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I don't know. Oh, YouTube. Right? Did I say that one already?
All the socials.
Yeah.
All the socials.
All those social platforms. You can catch us live 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, you can watch the replays on all those channels, especially YouTube. So head over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe, follow button, like, share these videos, all that. You'll get notified when we drop new videos, which is every week. And of course, if you want to listen to the audio versions of this show or past shows, you can listen wherever you get podcasts. And please make sure you hit that follow button wherever you're doing that. So that way you get the new episode delivered to your device weekly, because we post the episodes weekly.
It's so exciting. We have so many now. I think on our YouTube channel, we have like 87 videos.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
It's
We have a lot of videos. It's insane. We've got a lot of videos. And of course, you can follow us on social, Instagram and TikTok at the Chris and Amanda Show, where we also post videos weekly on there as well. We do the occasional live when we can. So there's always stuff being posted there. And if you'd like to sponsor an episode of the Chris and Amanda Show, all you have to do is just send us an email if you're interested in learning more about that. The Chris and Amanda Show at gmail.com. You can use all these links in the show notes and the video description wherever you're listening and all that stuff. So that's all good too. And then if you'd like to show your support for the show, we do have a Buy Me a Coffee page, which you can go over to buymeacoffee.com/TCAS, and you can select, or I should say, and you can select any level that you feel comfortable with, and the ultimate show of support for the Chris and Amanda Show. Amanda, would you like to talk about the ultimate show of support for the Chris and Amanda Show?
Absolutely. We can thank Daniel for launching that into high gear. Thank you for commissioning our first episode. We would love to do more. That is where you choose all 6 songs of your choosing. It can be a variety. It can be anything. Like we said, Dan and his black metal. I struggled. I was like, rock.
Black, extreme metal, death metal, thrash metal.
Really was a fun episode, but it doesn't have to be anything out of the norm. If you just want to have, a list sent to us that you would like our thoughts on, or if you are a band just getting started, send us your music. We would love to give you some ratings on it. 1 to 5 records. Be prepared. But
Be
we're fine.
prepared. Be
But we're
prepared.
fine.
We will rate it and we will review it. But, it'll be fun.
It'll be a lot
We
of
guarantee
fun.
it'll be fun.
Absolutely. And lastly, thank you, Mr. Benny and Nick Capal of Let's Talk About Death podcast. Thank you for being our sponsor today. Super appropriate sponsor for this
Yes.
episode. It could not have worked out any better. All because we did an IG Live.
That is correct. All because we did an IG Live. So, yes, make sure you check out their podcast, Let's Talk About Death, available on all places where you can get podcasts.
Absolutely.
All of them. Every single one of them.
All of them. All of them. Man, what a fun show. Chris,
What a fun show.
amazing.
Yes.
Thanks for being
Yes.
such a fun co-host.
Thank you, Amanda Sharp, for being such a fun co-host. So happy Chris and Amanda Day, everybody. Happy Pi Day. Happy Birthday Eve.
Birthday
For-
Eve for Chris.
And yes, and and by the way, if you want to create your own playlist and you have more songs you'd like to share, send them over. We'll talk about
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. We love hearing what other people are listening to. So feel free to share them. Of course, you can listen to all the songs that we talk about on the Chris and Amanda Show at our Chris and Amanda Show playlist, which you can get through Spotify and the links in the show notes. We have the Chris and Amanda Show 2022 playlist happening now. And so all the songs that we've talked about since the start of this year are all on there if you want to listen to what we're listening to. And talking about.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Good stuff.
So, good stuff. All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up for us here today, Amanda Sharp. Any final words?
No, it just was a very fun episode. Everyone now knows our final wishes, so it should be easy to
Very easy.
take care of us one way or the other.
Yep. No skips. I want bells. We want farewell tour t-shirts.
It's very simple.
It's also simple. It's
so simple.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much again. Have an amazing rest of the week, and we will see you back here live next Monday, 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, you can always watch the replay and listen to the show anytime you want.
Yes.
See you
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.